Hi, this is Kyle with K-Debate. I'm going to be doing video 1 of my life story. This is going to be the second time I moved out, where I moved to San Antonio. The story is going to start with why I moved out. I originally moved back in with my dad because I had gotten robbed when I was living with somebody else, and I had to move back in. I had no money. I lost my job because I didn't have transportation and whatnot. So I told my dad when I first moved in, I'm going to get money. I'm going to get about $3,000, then I'm going to move out again. I got a job immediately. I worked with my dad at Ross Distribution Center, with my brother and my dad. I worked there for several months, maybe 3 or 4 months. I saved up about $3,000. And I told my dad, hey, I'm going to move out. And I gave him my rent because I had rent money that I owed. And it was about $400 a month. And I told him, hey, I'm moving out. And he did not take it well. He did not want me to move out, and he told me no. So I told him, well, I already quit my job, and I'm going to move out at the end of the month. This was our agreement originally when I first moved back in. And he threw the rent money back at me, told me I had an hour to pack, and that I was not welcome back, ever. So I called a friend. He let me move in with him temporarily on the premise that I had a move out date, and I did. I needed to buy a plane ticket, and I wanted to train ticket actually is what I used, and I was going to go to San Antonio. I already had the location. I had some jobs lined up, and I wanted to set everything up properly. So that's what I did. I moved in with my friend. They actually threw me a going away party. I stayed there for about 2.5 weeks. Then I got on my train and I left, and I have not talked really to almost any of my family since. It was not a good move out, to say the least. It was a lot of emotional stuff going on. It was not what I expected, and it was I was very much hoping to leave in an amicable way. I was giving him a month's heads up. I gave him my rent money. I told him I'm going to get a train ticket in this time. I told him this. I told him that, and it didn't work. It was one of those things that just you have this plan you really think is going to work, and then it completely derails, and you don't know what's happened, and then everything's messed up, and it was very hard for me to understand and handle at the time. There was crying. There was why did this happen? There was a lot of uncertainty, and it was a very confusing moment in time for me because I didn't understand why it happened. I still don't understand why it happened. I don't know why my dad was convinced that I was supposed to stay, and I never asked him, and I don't think I ever will, because he made it very clear that I was no longer welcome in his home anymore. And well, I don't know if he has, changed his mind about that. I don't think I'm okay with it anymore because um, he made the transition of me trying to start my life a thousand times harder than it should have been. And had I not had the safety net of my friends in the area willing to take me in, and pretty much the middle of the night, I would have had nowhere to go. And at the time, my dad didn't care. So my reasoning to look back on it with disdain, even if he's willing to take me back, air quotes, um, when you treat somebody with that amount of anger because they do something you dislike, um, I don't feel that that's something you can just say you're sorry to, or say, you know what, those things that I said, they're no longer valid, because to me they're still very valid. Because had that happened to somebody that didn't have that safety net, had that happened to another one of his kids, like my baby brother, he would have had nothing, no one to take him in, and he would have been on the streets. And then what would my dad have done had he died? What would happen if I was on the streets and I had died? And that's my reasoning for not wanting to bring it up again, because I have that still in me, and I need to work on that still. So that's the end of page 1. Bye. Oh, crud, it didn't cut.